The office was silent except for the echo of his words. David, my husband and the CEO of the company we had built together, stood towering over me with rage in his eyes. The paper trembled in his hand as he slammed it onto my desk. I sat frozen, my heart pounding in my chest. This was the man I had married, the man I had trusted with my dreams and my love. But in that moment, I didn't recognize him. His power had consumed him, and I was no longer his partner, I was his target. "Sign it," he demanded, his voice sharp and unforgiving. "Accept the cut or you're out. You think you're indispensable? You're not." Tears burned at the corner of my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. Slowly, I raised my gaze and met his. "David, this is not business. This is cruelty." He scoffed, leaning closer. "This is reality. You don't get special treatment just because you share my last name. If you can't handle it, walk away." The employees nearby pretended not to listen, but I could feel their eyes on us, their unease thick in the air. The humiliation stung deeper than any wound. I picked up the paper with trembling hands. A 60% salary cut. It wasn't about money, it was about power. He wanted to break me, to remind me that in this empire, he was king. For years I had supported him, working late nights, making sacrifices, even putting aside my own career dreams to help build his. I had believed we were equals. But this paper told me the truth. "Why, David?" I whispered. "Why are you doing this to me?" His eyes narrowed. "Because you forgot your place. You challenged me in front of the board last week. You embarrassed me. Now, I'm teaching you a lesson." The words cut deeper than any slap. I realized this wasn't just about business, it was about ego. His pride couldn't handle being questioned, not even by me, his wife. I folded the paper gently, placed it back on the desk, and stood tall. For the first time, I wasn't trembling. I wasn't afraid. "No," I said clearly. "I won't sign it." The color drained from his face. "What did you say?" "I said no," I repeated. "You can strip my title, you can fire me from this company, but you will not take away my dignity. I built this place with you. I poured my soul into it. And if you think you can erase me with one piece of paper, you're wrong." Gasps rippled through the office. Employees who had tried to stay silent now stared openly, their respect shifting from him to me. David's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. For once, his power didn't intimidate me. I gathered my things calmly, each movement steady, deliberate. "You've already lost more than you realize, David," I said softly. "And it's not your company, it's me." As I walked out of the office, I felt lighter. The pain was still there, sharp and raw, but beneath it was strength. A strength I hadn't known I possessed. That night, I packed my bags. I didn't leave a note. I didn't owe him explanations. My silence was louder than his threats. Weeks later, I started my own firm. Small at first, but every client I earned, every contract I signed, was proof that I didn't need his empire to define me. Word spread quickly in the industry. People respected my courage, my refusal to be crushed under the weight of his pride. David tried to reach out. Calls, messages, even visits. He wasn't the same confident CEO anymore. He was a man watching everything he had built begin to crumble without the partner who had been its true foundation. One evening, he showed up at my new office. His voice was quieter now, broken. "Emily, I was wrong. I let my ego destroy us." I looked at him, the man I had once loved, and felt no hatred, only sorrow. "You didn't just destroy us, David. You destroyed yourself. And I can't rebuild you anymore. That's a lesson you'll have to carry for the rest of your life." His eyes filled with regret as I turned away, leaving him in silence. The paper he once shoved in my face had been his weapon, but in the end, it became his downfall. Because no signature could erase the truth. Power fades, but respect lasts forever. And that was the lesson he would never forget.